Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are talking about our top 10 most anticipated games for Spiel 2024.
Yes, but there is a twist.
Yes.
This video actually has two top 10 lists. We are first going to go through our top 10 small box anticipated games, and then we're doing our top 10 big box anticipated games. This video is going to be a bit different than usually because this year we have had the chance to play a lot of the games that we would have been excited about already. So we have already done a video where we talk about all the games that we have already played that are coming out at Spiel. So if you want to see that first, so you don't going to be like, but where is that game? Where is that game? Go and check that out first and then come back here to see what games we are still very much anticipating for Spiel.
So this is a top 20 basically.
Yes, that is true. I think that there is a lot of good-looking games. We have already played a lot of good-looking games and a lot of great games. There hasn't been any that was like bad. There's been, of course, games that's been good for us or not that good for us. And I've tried to make this. But it was interesting because especially with the, spoiler, I make the lists.
Yes,
I was telling you, I don't know why. So no, I make the list.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Ah.
You're like,
it
what?
It all makes sense now.
I should just appear on the screen. So basically it was a bit harder to make the top 10 anticipated because there was games that would obviously have been there but that we have been lucky enough to play already. So that also made it so that I had to like look differently at it, and also that also did end up doing so that we had the top 10 small box as well.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Yes.
We're gonna start with the small box. Do you want to begin at the bottom of that list at number 10?
Yes. Wizard's Cup, and this is from the designer that did Love Letter, and this is a 2-player game.
Yes, so if you haven't seen these anticipated videos before, Sunniva is also learning about these games right now.
Yes.
Because you don't know too much about them.
Yes, and Johannes is so lovely because right before we started filming, he just like talked to me about a little bit of all these games, and now you're very cute because if you thought that I remembered anything, you're wrong.
Yes, I was hoping you would remember at least something.
Yeah, we'll see, but not for this one.
This is a kind of you're making a deck, as I remember correctly, a deck of 6 cards and try to make them battle each other, basically.
Okay, cool.
And what I want to say, of course, not only you, but we don't know too much about all of these games. So there's different reasons why they're here. Like there's designers, there's mechanisms, there's publishers, all of that. And I'm going to try to tell you the reason. So this is basically because designer Love Letter. Next up is Neko Syndicate. This is a small thinky filler. I think it's from a new publisher, but it's from Danny Garcia, which is coming to be like a designer. Even though we haven't like loved everything he's done so far, especially with Barcelona being such a fantastic game, he's going to be a designer that we're always going to look for. And Neko Syndicate looked like a very interesting little filler game where you are, it's kind of weird, like you're this cat mobsters, clans, that are running these sushi syndicates and trying to be the best at doing that. So I love the theme for this one.
Yes, that sounds like an awesome theme. Number 8 is Skull Queen. And
Skull Queen, you say?
Yes, it might sound familiar. It's it's a trick-taking game.
What?
The same as its big brother, I would say, Skull King.
Since it's an older game.
Yes. But the difference here from Skull King is that in your bidding, that's not new. You do that in Skull King as well.
That's correct.
But in this game, you are bidding on how many tricks you will win in each suit. I'm very excited to see if that overcomplicates things, because I find it hard enough bidding for the stuff in the Skull King.
Yes.
But maybe it will be easier. Yeah, I'm excited to see the changes they've done.
And that is what I've understood from the things I read. So that is completely wrong. I misread it.
Johannes, not me.
Next up, we're going to have Operation Barclay. This is from Salt and Pepper Games. Last year, they did a fantastic game called The Battle of Versailles. And because of that, I'm going to basically be always on the lookout for a new game from Salt and Pepper. They usually do a lot of war games, but in a package that makes them hide that it's like a war game. It doesn't feel like a war game.
You.
Yeah, and you. I don't think you're like this. You made it sound like I'm super into war games now. But Operation Barclay is a card-driven game. You're going to play cards down You're going to play first some face up, then some face down. And what you're trying to do is to play poker hands. Sometimes you might want to try to be the best at the poker hand. Sometimes you might want to bluff. If you don't get cards, you might want to try to bluff that you have a better hand than you have, because you're also bidding on which of the players you think is going to have the best one. And you're trying to uncover different information to be, if you are the German player, you're trying to uncover where the battles, or basically I don't know anything about war, where things are coming, the battles are coming. And if
battles are coming.
If you are the allies, you're trying to stop that, basically. Looks like a very interesting game that I'm excited to play.
It's a 2-player, like, head-to-head, and I'm not usually a fan of that, but I really like, what you call it, air, land, and sea creatures at war.
Yes.
And that's also, like, 2-player head-to-head.
Battle of Versailles.
Yeah, that's true, but I love it. 2-player head-to-head,
yeah.
war-themed,
yeah.
And I really like that, and that also is because of the bluffing and the little, how much do I want to stay in this? Yes,
yeah.
And this sounds a little familiar, so we will see. Next up is Panda Spin.
Panda Spin
is a trick-taking game.
What?
And it has a twist, or a spin, if you will, because if you lose a trick, you will get your cards that you played to try to win the trick. You will get them back, and then you will spin them around, and then they will be better. And then you will try basically to empty your hand.
Do you have to spin it, like, or could you just like turn it over?
You could,
so
but
that's
be called not as
Panda
cool.
Turn, which would not be that good of a name.
Yes.
We played like a round of this at Spiel, at Gen Con. I heard it did some changes as well. It looks like a very cool, interesting trick-taking game. Next up, we're going to have Yellow House. This is one I don't know too much about. I know it's from Mandu Games. And last year, they're like, Mandu Games was a publisher that I'm now going to get everything from. Because Mandu Games makes some very interesting games. There's a lot of Asian companies that makes things that are very unique and different from the games that we usually get in Europe and the US. So I'm going to be more and more, I'm trying to look at those games because they do things, as I said, differently. And Yellow House is a cool theme. It's a 2-player game. It's an art theme, two artists battling basically on who's right. On like, I think this is the way to do the painting, and you think that's the way. And as I understood, it's a very unique and strange and weird ladder climbing game. So I'm excited to learn more about it. I'm also obviously to play it, not just learn about it. I'm going to learn more about it and then never play it in my life. I'm very excited for that.
Another game that we're excited for is Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth.
Oh, why?
Because it is Seven Wonders Duel, but with Lord of the Rings theme.
Yes.
And I like Lord of the Rings, and I like Seven Wonders Duel. Do you know if it's gonna be like just pasted on, or
no,
do they do a little like
dance? Do they do a little dance?
I hope they do.
I think they do a little dance. I think
if I come to their booth and they're not doing the little dance, I'm not
Where is the little
Where
dance?
is it?
We are waiting for the dance. Yeah, I think there are some changes.
Okay, cool.
Number 3 is going to be one that we have basically not played, but we played this game, but in another version called Perspectives. This is a new version of Perspectives with 3 more cases, or 4. Was it 3 or 4? I don't remember. With a number of cases in it.
Yes.
I really enjoyed Perspectives. It's a very unique cooperative experience. Deduction game where you're going to have cards in your hand, which tells me information, and you're going to have cards in your hand, but we can't show them to each other. So what we can do is speak, and this is better played with like 4 to 6 people, and basically it's a talking game. You try to talk, you try to listen, you try to not have, it's not good if somebody's trying to like always decide everything, but you're trying to basically talk through these things to solve the puzzle, and every case is going to have like 3-4 different card rounds, and then you have like a story going on, and it's very, very cool. I cannot wait for more stuff in that category or mechanism.
Yes, I agree. And next up is Zero to Hero.
Zero to Hero.
And you have to sing the song from Hercules while you play it. I hope.
It's in the rules.
Yes. And this is a trick-taking game, and it's by Martin Wallace.
What?
And you explain a little bit about it, but like one way you could win the game is if you get 0 points one round, and then you get 5 points the other, because then you go from 0 to
hero. And it's a tile-based trick-taking game. Makes it very different that you're
From
placing
cards.
tiles, but it looks very interesting. Number 1. It's basically number 1 because of Amy from Thinker Themer. She spoke about this at Gen Con, and also she spoke about it later. I know that Maggie does not like it, but it is a 2-player trick-taking game with area control. I don't remember a lot about the details, I just remember that I listened to it, like, this sounds very, very cool. It's a competitive one. You're trying to place in these different areas to win tricks, to like have area majority, but then when you lose, you're gonna flip it over to get a lone wolf, and it just like has a lot of things. So Amy liked it. Maggie did not like it because I also think she lost. But it sounds like a very cool game, and it was the one, like, all of these are great looking games, and when we make like a top 10, it's hard to be like, this is number 1, but especially with the small ones. It's more easy on the big ones, I would say.
Yeah, because these are games that we have not played, so we don't know how much we're gonna like them, so we're just like estimating.
And also a fun thing about making two lists is that if we go and do like a revisit of the top 10 anticipated, it's going to be more interesting.
There's more stuff.
Now, we're going to do another top 10 of the big box games. But before that, here's an ad. Hello there, random person.
Hi.
Hello. Have you heard about the internet?
No. What is that?
You can go on there and learn about board games.
Wow.
Do you like board games?
Yes, I love board games, but I've never heard of the internet.
Yes, so you can go on the internet. There is something called a website where you can see different things. There is one called YouTube. If you go there, you can search up Board Gaming Ramblings. And you can subscribe, which means you will then see their videos.
Yes, this was very many words that I've never heard of before.
I guess that one thing you wonder is, does it cost you any money?
Yes.
It doesn't.
Oh.
It's completely free.
The internet?
No, that you have to pay for, but when you are on the internet, you can subscribe to Board Gaming Ramblings for free. Now back to the content. Then we're gonna go into the top 10 big box games. This is where I really enjoy doing these small box games because we are usually the big box persons, like the big Euros. So I enjoy looking a bit more at the small games as well. Let's do top 10 big box anticipated Spiel 2024.
Number 10. Galileo Galilei. This is from the same designer that is publishing SETI.
Yeah, he has 3 games. Never heard of him before. 3 games this year.
Galileo Galilei, SETI, and
Teagarden.
Teagarden.
We have Teagarden upstairs. We just haven't gotten to play it yet, but we are hopefully doing some content on that before.
So we have not played any of his games yet, but we got a little rundown of SETI at Gen Con, and that looked really interesting. So based on that, this also looks great, and it's interesting with a new designer that we haven't played anything of yet. We look forward to Galileo Galilei.
Especially when he has 3 games from 3 publishers, same spiel, and they all look to be like medium, and SETI is a heavier game. Thomas Holak, I think is his name. Next up is number 9, Power Grid Outpost. Freedom and Freeze is a designer I'm always curious about. Most of the time he ends up with games that I think are fine, or just too experimental to be a cool board game. The one biggest differentiation from that is Power Grid. Power Grid is a super duper cool game. Freedom and Freeze has a game called Outpost. It's not his game, but a game called Outpost that he really enjoys. And this is basically his homage to Outpost. He's making a Power Grid version of Outpost, matching like mechanisms from Outpost into Power Grid to make a new version of Power Grid. Power Grid is almost like a perfect game, even though I can't win when you're included. So I'm very excited to see a new game in that universe. I have to stop saying that. In the universe of Power Grids. But I am really excited to play a new Power Grid, basically. End of the line.
That sounds awesome. Number 8 is Unconscious Mind. And you might say, Johannes and Sunniva, haven't you played this already? And yes, we have. But we have played a prototype, and there's been, as far as we can see, a lot of changes since that prototype. So I don't know if I can say that I have played this game with all the changes that have happened to this game since then. But what I can say based on the prototype is that I really really enjoyed it. It was super fun, an interesting game, and I'm excited to see the changes that they've done in the final version of the game.
Yes, you're talking about the sea. Let's talk about Endeavor Deep Sea.
Aha!
Yes, Transition Deluxe. Yes, the Deep Sea, Endeavor Deep Sea, is the one that I've been excited for since it was on GameFound, I think, or Kickstarter, I don't remember. I backed it, basically. I'm still waiting for it. I cannot wait for it to arrive. Endeavor is a great game. I love the system in Age of Sail. This seems to take some of the systems but make it into a very different game, and everything in this game looks great, and I cannot wait to put my hands on it and place the components on the board and move them around and follow the rules so you can win.
Yeah. Number 6 is Man Nefer, and this is a game published by Ludo Nova, and it's from German Milan. And the reason we're excited for his new game is that we really enjoyed Sabika that he put out last year. Do you know if it will be in the same weight category?
I think it is in the same kind of weight category.
So like a medium heavy-ish. Yes. Cool.
And it looks cool.
Nice.
Like all the pictures look so cool. Like it is an Egyptian themed game. I just like, there's some games where I just look at them like, this is something I'm gonna get. Because there's something about a Euro game that makes me go, I want to play this game.
It looks really Euro-y, just the way we like it.
Yes, it also has these really cool pyramid pieces that looks really neat. Like you're building up these pyramids in 3D, and it has all the things to look out to be a very good game. I'm excited to play it. Next up, we're going to have Daitoshi. This is from the Rear Games, a new big game from
Tana Garcia.
Yes.
Huh, 2 games in one list.
No, in 2 lists.
2 lists,
the other
one
list.
video.
I don't know anything about this game. Like, not a single thing. The only thing I know, I'm saying I don't know a single thing, and unless I know something, it's like you are building a city of sorts. And that's where it stops. There's one picture online. If we are extremely lucky, we're going to get a copy before Spiel, and we'll do our best to do a review of that so you can get some info on it. But basically, it's the Veer, and it is Dani Garcia, and those are things that we like.
Yes.
So we are. That is why it's here. Basically, it's a shallow reason, but it is the reason why it's here. Next up is also kind of a shallow reason.
Yes, it's Minions from Stan Kordonsky and released by Board and Dice. And this, this is a solid publisher and a solid designer, and we hope they put out
He is
more...
solid, he's not liquid.
No, he's very solid.
Like a blob, like a liquid designer, I don't
It probably is a lot of liquid. We humans have a big percentage of water in our bodies, but that's not the point.
No, sorry.
My point is that I hope that they put out more great stuff. For example, games.
It looks very and solid.
Menus.
It looks very interesting. It has like a dice drafting, but also it has a programming thing, which reminds me a bit of Rurik, Dawn of Kiev, I think is the name of it. From the same designer, where you have like your workers with numbers and you have to then replace them and then you have to do them in that order. And it's going to have the same thing here with dice that you have to do in order, but you're drafting the dice and placing it out on different actions. So it looks very interesting. And this is another one we hope to be able to have some content on before Spiel. We cannot promise, but we will do our best. Next up is Seri. That means that Thomas Holick is going to have 2 games on this list. Seri looks like the heavier one from CGE. And the overview we got looked really cool. And the board looks really cool. You move these things around the planets and all of that. It looks really, really great. It's a scientific-ish board game where you are trying to find alien species. And you do. Which is kind of where the science where it is right now is stopping. But you are basically going to find those species. And that is going to open up the game. And it's going to be like random from the beginning. So you don't know what the different species are going to do, and then you're going to get a way like different scorings, different ways to play the game depending on that species that comes out for that game. It looks very cool. We also have an overview of it on the vlog that we did from Gencon if you want to go and check it out. Next up, we're going to have
Black Forest from Uwe Rosenberg, and this is kind of a board game
successor?
With a board, successor to Glass Road. And a lot of people love Glass Road. That's not my favorite Uwe Rosenberg game.
No, we did a top list of it.
Yes.
I don't remember it added, but we did like it a lot better the last time we played it.
We did, and anything Uwe Rosenberg puts out, I'm gonna play it.
It's an instant
Yes.
buy. Which also the next one is, which is Civolution. Number 1, Stefan Feld. And it's like Stefan Feld, Uwe Rosenberg, and the list goes on. Are designers is going to be on the top of this list? Civolution looks like a big game.
Yeah, I saw it being like demoed and explained at Spiel last year.
Mm-hmm.
It looked heavy and complicated.
Yes.
With a huge player
Yes.
with all the different tracks and dice and yeah. I'm excited to play it.
We cannot wait. And those are 20 games that we are excited for at Spiel 2024. And we're going to be there.
Yes.
If you are there, you can come and say hi. If you see us, what do you want to do?
Please do the secret sign. And also a little reminder, if you joined and didn't watch the beginning of this video, if you're missing any games here, we have made a video that tells you about the games that we've already played, so go check that out.
Because like 24 of those.
Yes.
And we also, you can say hi to us as well.
Oh, yes.
We are allowed to speak to us. We're very happy when you do.
Yeah.
And also we're going to be working at the Alliance Aporta Chili Fox area Friday 14 to 18, Saturday 10 to 14. If you want to come and say hi there as well. We're also doing the Meet and Play. You can Google Meet and Play Spiel. We're going to do that from 16 to 17/18 on Saturday. So we hope to see you there. And that is going to be the end. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Senua.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.